Yo guys, and welcome back to this new stream here on the channel. And today's stream we're going to discuss the Bitcoin price action, because yes guys, Bitcoin really needs some attention today here. So in today's stream we're going to talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and of course all these other cryptos like Luna, Terra, Luna absolutely exploding of course after the stable getting launched here. It's absolutely sending Luna towards the moon right now as well. We're going to look at some on-chain data towards on the Bitcoin chain and on the Ethereum chain, because they're both of them are showing us some very interesting price action of course as well. We're going to go over our main scenario that we did discuss yesterday, and that was of course this bear flag scenario for Bitcoin. So in today's video I'm going to give you guys an update on the scenario about how it is currently looking and how it is currently holding up the price action as well. I'm going to go over the CME gap and much more here on today's stream. So guys, thank you for already tuning in towards this amazing stream here. Good morning for everyone as well, if you just woke up here, or if you're from the other side of the world here, good night already. So guys, let's jump right away into the stream here, and let's start off with discussing the Bitcoin price action right away. So what are we seeing right now for Bitcoin? So yesterday, of course, Bitcoin came up particularly quickly, but since of course yesterday evening, Bitcoin started to be topping out here and of course came down a little bit towards some lower targets of course. And since Bitcoin was coming down from these highs here, you can clearly see we did not completely fill up the CME gap yet here. So the CME gap is still particularly big above us, and we could be still looking for of course a particularly big surge towards the upside if we do want to be seeing the CME gap getting filled here, because right now it's already Wednesday guys, and of course in 2 days from now on it's going to become weekend, and of course we're still 6% towards the upside away before filling up the CME gap. So respectively saying, this is still looking like of course a pretty interesting scenario that we could be looking at, that the CME gap is going to get filled here. But of course we do know that CME gaps don't necessarily have to be getting filled, but they tend to get filled here. So we usually tend to see CME gaps getting filled here, and they don't necessarily have to get filled here. So yes, it could be as well take us another 2 weeks till we're going to fill it, but of course it's pretty bullish that we do right now see the CME gap above us rather than below us, because yeah, this is for sure going to be spanning rather a movement towards the upside than towards the lower ranges of course. So if we're going to see Bitcoin going towards the lower ranges, what levels are we going to be looking at? And personally, I will be aiming for targets around the 49.5k towards the 49.7k, 49.6k approximately, and that's going to be this green box of previous resistance, of course. And this is going to be a very strong level that is most likely going to hold up the price action very well here. So you can see as well, Bitcoin has been forming higher low after higher low, and of course, if we could see another touch on this level, this is going to be, of course, confirming another higher low getting generated on the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market. So this is going to be of course a particularly bullish retest if we could be seeing the market coming down towards the green box over here, and that could be leading once again towards a continuation towards higher targets. Of course, we do know in the current trend on the imminent short term where we're trading on, we have been starting to set higher highs like you can see over here, higher lows as well along the way up. So this is of course looking like an upward trend here. But of course we do know if we're going to look towards these upward sloping trends that you can create on these lower time frames, we can be as well look at some kind of a bear flag scenario. Of course, I'm still taking this scenario in play here, and how I will be approaching the scenario, like I said already several times before on the channel here, is that Bitcoin came down massively from the highs of course, and since then it has been forming this parallel channel towards the upside. And of course, after a significant leg down here, this is of course called a bear flag. So I will be approaching it as a bear flag, but of course I will be not necessarily say, okay, Bitcoin has to be breaking down from the highs over here. But what I will be saying to you guys out there is that I will be waiting for a breakout to either direction. So a breakdown of this flag here, so a breakdown of the support line that we're right now aiming for. And of course we could be as well look at a different approach with the support line like this here, but I will be of course as well keep my eyes wide open on this support line where I'm right now drawing for you guys. But yeah, if Bitcoin is going to be breaking down of this parallel channel and Bitcoin is going to see a 4-hourly candle close significantly below the support range, this is going to lead, in my opinion, towards lower price suckers getting reached here. But of course, Bitcoin is as well, like I just told you about here, this 49.7k level, it's about to retest this range here. And of course, if Bitcoin is going to reach this 49.7k range, I personally do see Bitcoin providing a lot of support on that level. and Bitcoin most likely seeing a very significant bounce back from those highs here. So if we're going to see this retest getting enabled here in the market, we could be looking for further continuation towards the upside once again getting generated. So I am definitely very much looking forward towards what we're going to get from this point here. Hopefully we could be seeing this continuation towards the upside getting created here, and I personally do think it's particularly likely as well to see this continuation getting started as soon as Bitcoin is going to see this level on the 49.7k getting touched here. So is the 49.7k going to be a good level for potential long positions? Yes. Is the 49.7k a potential good level to be accumulating some more cheaper Bitcoin? I think yes as well. But could it be as well a scenario that Bitcoin is going to be once again calm down to fill up the liquidity and see of course more significant sideways action before then rallying up here? That could be as well very likely to expect here, because this is as well a structure like we have been seeing here on September. So there are definitely a certain amount of reversal structures that right now could be playing out on the market. And personally, if Bitcoin is right now going to be breaking this top side of resistance, yes, I do expect that we're going to see an exponential recovery back towards the higher ranges on the market. But if Bitcoin is then going to come down from this level, I do expect that this could be taking maybe another 2 weeks here before this market is really going to recover and before the market is really going to form new highs here towards the 60k again. So please take that in consideration. It's going to be pretty important to see where the market is heading towards right now here. But so far, yes, we're still trading in a more of a bearish bias pattern, and that's just unfortunately how it is right now. Of course, as well, we were forming a hidden bearish divergence from the highs here. We were forming a lower high here on the market, higher high here on the price action, and this was of course resulting in an hidden bearish divergence that we did create over here. And because we were forming a hidden bearish divergence, the market indeed came down a little bit from that point here, because the price action was decreasing but RSI was increasing, and that's the reason why we were forming this hidden bearish divergence, and that's the reason why we did came down from that point here, and that's of course very likely to expect as well here. So if we're going to then look at some horizontal levels, yesterday, I did warn you guys clearly about my target here of the 51.6k here. And like you can see over here, this previous resistance target that I have been talking about several times here previously provided resistance. Over here provided resistance as well. And right now we are seeing this level once again getting rejected here. So I have been talking about this horizontal level already several times on the channel. And you can clearly see this level of top side of resistance right now got us rejected. But of course, if we want to be seeing a healthy structure getting generated towards the upside, I have said it several times before, a pullback towards the 49k, approximately 49.7k, is going to be only allow us to of course see this more bullish and more healthy continuation towards the upside, because this will be once again just reflects, of course, on a very bullish retest we're going to get on the previous highs where we got rejected from. So I will be still love to see market coming down from that point and then see for an increasement up here, because that will be allowing us to go in an even more healthier structure in this market. And of course, it will be as well add some significance towards the flag that we're right now looking at. Of course, one more thing that I want to be adding on the 1 hour time frame, by the way, is that Bitcoin was just, of course, on the previous candle over here, was forming some pretty interesting things here. It was forming this hidden bearish divergence, because it was forming, of course, this lower high here on the market, higher high here on the RSI. So we were forming a hidden bearish divergence on the chart, and that was, of course, having a little bit more of a bearish effect here as well in the short term. And that's the reason why these past 2 hour candles are probably already pushing us a little bit down here on the short term. But yeah, for me, what's still going to be playing out here is, of course, which direction the market is heading towards. And I'm not necessarily going to be bullish or bearish right now here, but if market's going to be breaking the top side of resistance, yeah, I will be flipping extremely bullish. All the way around, I will be staying a little bit more on the neutral side here. So of course, if we're going to look at the daily time frame for Bitcoin, and by the way, give me a real quick second. So if we're going to look at the Bitcoin daily time frame here, and if we're going to real quickly look at this chart here, we can clearly see Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, of course, has been forming this following that structure on the daily time frame. So far it's looking pretty decently. Of course, if we're going to look at momentum indicators, we can clearly see here the market is of course forming a MACD reversal over here. So we're forming a high low on the MACD, a lower lows on the price action, and this of course having some pretty interesting results right now on the market, because this could be leading towards a massive market momentum shift here. Of course, we did saw it last time around as well over here on this correction phase down, where we were forming this divergence on the MACD here. And guys, I will be telling you guys as well here, tomorrow I will be not able to stream here, but tomorrow on this time I will be dropping out another video on my channel, and on that video that I'm going to drop out on the channel, I'm going to be in depth, going to be explaining to you guys about why I do think a market reversal is extremely close towards us, and we're going to go over all the likely scenarios that we could be seeing playing out here before the market is going to be most likely pushed back towards all-time highs ranges, of course. So if you do want to be finding out about that one, don't forget to as well subscribe to the channel, so you're definitely not going to be missing out on that video that we're going to drop out tomorrow. The reason why I will be dropping out the video tomorrow is because tomorrow I have to take a flight here, and of course I will be not able to drop a stream here, so that's the reason why I will be dropping that video for tomorrow as well. Bitcoin weekly chart here, pretty interesting still. Upper sloping support line getting generated. A break below this upper sloping support line is going to kill the higher time frame trend we got created here. So that's of course for sure a thing that we're not want to be seeing here. We do not want to be seeing Bitcoin coming below this upper sloping support line. But of course, if we're going to do so in the future, yeah, this could be having a little bit more of a bearish effect on this market. So yeah, let's see what we're going to be having for this chart over here. But Bitcoin so far in the weekly time frame still looks to be trading in its uptrend because it's forming higher lows along the way up here, and of course it's still getting supported by this upper sloping support line. So I'm very curious about where this market is right now heading towards, but personally, yeah, we could be very close towards a weekly time frame reversal right now here. So it's looking particularly good here, even though the weekly time frame right now is not bouncing back so strongly right here. I do have some things in play right now, but we could be maybe see another major shakeout towards the downside. And the reason why here is because the leverage is very important to look at. And the real big question that we are asking ourselves right now here is that, is the leverage already flushed out of the market? Is the leverage already flushed out, or are we going to see another significant correction down here to fill up the lows, of course, on the market, to create another squeeze on the market, to even create more fear here in the market? That's the real big question that everyone is asking us. And of course, I do understand this question, and of course, I do personally think, if I'm going to right now look at, of course, what the funding rates are doing, that we could be maybe still see so. Because if we're going to look at the funding rates are, of course, dropped all out of the negative territory. So, of course, the confidence is coming back in towards the market. What is, of course, having a little bit more of a bearish edge here right now. So we do know that, of course, quite a lot of open interest got wiped out here, but since the lows in the market, we already increased with another 200 million in open interest again, and that of course shows us that the confidence is returning towards the market. Of course, what we do can clearly see right now here, since the funding rates are not dropping negative anymore, it shows us that there are becoming more longers in the market back, and of course, because they're going to become more longers in the market, this is definitely as well showing us an increasing risk with trading the market towards the upside right now here. So yeah, indeed, these things can shift, of course, a lot of times here, and because the funding rates are not negative anymore right now, there could be a possibility that Bitcoin is still going to create a shakeout before once again continuing its way up here. Because yeah, once the funding rates are positive, it basically once again reflects us that the confidence is that the market is going to be boosting towards the upside rather than towards the downside. And most likely this happened because of we're forming this beautiful upwards higher low structure right now on this market. And people do believe that this is, of course, a structure that they could be seeing a continuation in. But of course, because we're seeing the funding rates right now increasing, of course, I'm not saying the funding rates are heavily, because they're right now neutral. 0.01% is neutral. And of course, if they're going to trade above it, it's going to be, yeah, pretty bearish, but right now it's still in neutral territory, so market can still go either direction. But of course, to really say, of course, on these lower ranges over here, it was very low risk to accumulate long positions. Right now the risk is most certainly a little bit higher, so please take that as well in consideration, and that could be as well a reason why Bitcoin could be maybe potentially create another minor squeeze here on the long side. So could be for sure play out here. And what is as well still a scenario that we are keeping in our back of our mind is that we're going to search for the liquidity on the lows here, but it's going to be all the way a pullback towards the lows here, and probably we will be seeing a very quick recovery. But yeah, you have to be playing this in mind here, and you have to keep this in your back of your mind that Bitcoin could still see such kind of things here before really seeing a continuation up here. But first, let's focus on the next levels ahead of ourselves. I personally do expect that this level is going to be adding a lot of fuel towards the market, and I would most certainly love to see this level getting touched in live in the stream here, because yeah, I want to be seeing the live effect on the stream getting seen on this level. And of course, if Bitcoin is then going to close a 1 hour candle below of this this range horizontal level over here, yeah, we're going to look towards a continuation towards the downside. So please be careful. If we're going to be closing below this level, we're going to see a continuation towards the downside. But if we're going to hold on towards it, yeah, we could be looking for a continuation towards the upside, of course. So yeah, definitely very interesting things right now playing out here, and we have to take our eyes wide open on this market over here right now here. So yeah, pretty important to look at. Some people are maybe right now talking about inverse and shoulders, of course, on the 1 hour candles. I personally do not really like it as my main scenario, but yeah, we could be for sure look at left shoulder head, of course. So over here, left shoulder head, and of course potential right shoulder if we're going to see an increase towards the highs. That could be leading towards a more bullish scenario, of course, playing out. But of course, in order to see the scenario playing out here, we have to see the market curve back from the range that we're right now trading on. As long as we're not doing so, yeah, we're not going to be taking this scenario for granted, of course. So please take that as well in consideration. Very important to look at here. That's what my plan is. I've been thinking for the past 5 days here. We need to retest visit the 41k. I mean, I've said it several times before. Don't only take one scenario in play here, but indeed, there is for sure a possibility. I've said it several times before. It is not out of the books that Bitcoin can still visit the 41 to 42k. Of course, maybe only 43k could as well be possible. But of course, in order for one to be seeing so, it first has to be breaking down of this 4-hourly bear flag. And of course, if this one breaks down here, yeah, it's likely that we're going to see it. But as long as we're trading in this pattern, I should stay neutral. I should stay neutral towards the market. And of course, if the market is then going to curve back up here and breaking the highs, I should definitely not be anticipating this scenario anymore. And let me, of course, extend this range a little bit longer. And let me look at this range like this here. So we could be as well look at this level, of course, in the coming days ahead of ourselves. Because, yeah, I personally do think that this is going to be a very important pattern to be looking at here in the coming hours and coming days ahead of ourselves, sir. When will you be trading again? Of course, I will be for sure like to trade, of course, the breakout here of this chart here. And of course, I'm going to be for sure longing the market if the market is going to come back towards 43k range. Of course, I'm going to do it with low leverage here, but that's going to be my worst case scenario for Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin, hits my worst case scenario, I'm going to for sure try to take a long position on it. Breakdown will be still stay away from the market because the breakdown, yeah, it's going to result in lower prices, and I don't really like shorting right now in this market because we're already pretty low here, and we could be seeing, of course, a massive fake out here on the short side. So yeah, and it will be as well look for a long position as soon as Bitcoin does break the top side of resistance, because that could be leaning towards a continuation up here. And of course, for the imminent short term, you could be looking for a very short term long position. So I'm not saying that you have to open this position for long here, but you could be open position on this horizontal level over here, and it could be maybe look for a 1 or 2% bounce here back towards the highs over here, in my opinion. So if the market is going to come down towards this level, I personally think that we're at least going to see a bounce back towards 50k again, 50.8k, and that could be a very good short-term long position that you could be taking on the market. So please take your eyes wide open, but that could be in a very good imminent short-term position. Of course, I'm not saying that this is going to be a swing trade entry or whatsoever. I think, yeah, you could be looking for a little bit of an let's say a 1% risk that you're going to take here for a 3% reward approximately. So maybe you could be, of course, even lower your risk by, of course, putting it on 0.7%. But indeed, you could be maybe look for a pretty decent risk to reward ratio that you could be taking here on the market. So I personally think this is going to be strong level of support. And of course, if we're going to retest, I don't think we're right away going to be breaking it down. And of course, if we're going to do so, yeah, your stop loss is going to get hit here. But otherwise, yeah, it's good. It's showing you a good risk to reward range here. And of course, if you do want to be trading this retest on the market, don't forget to sign up here with the link in the description. You could be signing up on Femex, you could be signing up on BYBIT, whatever you prefer, of course. But BYBIT is currently offering you a $4,100 deposit bonus, what is, of course, by far the biggest deposit bonus that ever has been here on the market. So let me right now move over and let me start off with talking about Ethereum. So let me right now talk a little bit about Ethereum. But guys, before I'm going to go over Ethereum, I would real quickly ask a favor from you guys. And of course, my favor that I want to be asking is you guys slapping up the like button. So if you haven't already slapped up that like button, make sure to do so right now. I see we're right now got like 130 likes, and guys, let's slap it up towards at least 200 likes on the stream right now here. So if you haven't already slapped up that like button, don't forget to do so. And I will be right now as well put up a new poll here in the chat. What happens first for Bitcoin? And I will be quickly asking you guys here what is going to be happening first here, the 41k here or the 60k. I'm very curious about what the chat is right now going to be saying about that one. So guys, don't forget to slap up the like button, and let's talk a little bit about Ethereum. And of course, I'm going to eventually as well talk about your favorite coins here that you guys want me to talk about, and I'm going to go over it. Just give me a little bit of time here. So good morning for everyone who's, by the way, tuning in here. But this could be indeed as well be a bear trap indeed. I'm not necessarily bearish on the imminent short term here. Not bearish at all. I'm neutral, like I said several times before. So please do not have a wrong opinion about it. And please, I'm just only trying to take every single scenario for granted. And that's the reason why right now I do explain the several scenarios that could be playing out if we're going to see a breakdown or either breakout towards the upside, of course. So it's definitely very exciting where we could be heading towards from this market. And these are very exciting times to be trading, of course. So I'm looking forward towards it. But what are we having on Ethereum right now? So Ethereum, of course, if we're going to look at the daily time frame, and if I'm going to go towards this chart here, first of all, yeah, you can still see we're trading in this symmetrical triangle as well. The Ethereum price action has been bouncing back from up this $3,900 range here. This is basically a very strong level of previous resistance, previous support as well, and this level is holding us up very, very well here. And so far, yeah, it does shows us a very good opportunity it shows us a very, very good zone for accumulation on this market. So definitely very lovely that we can see this right now here. Of course, downward slope resistance line from the highs is getting formed here, and as well upward sloping support line is getting from the lows. So far, yeah, this does look like a very interesting level that we are so far holding up here, and hopefully we could be seeing, of course, this continuation towards the upside getting generated. So I'm looking forward towards what we're going to get from this point here. But yeah, it does look like Ethereum is of course bouncing back very strong from this level, and it does look like Ethereum could be seeing a massive breakout from up this range. But I'm very thirsty. But let me take a real quick second. Let me take a very quick sip of my water. So, indeed, we do see that this is, of course, going to be a very strong range of support here on the lower side here. And right now, what we are going to be aiming for on Ethereum is that we're going to be seeing a breakout through the upside for a continuation up here. Of course, this could be leading towards a massive continuation towards the upside. This could be leading towards a massive surge of approximately 20% here towards the higher ranges, 18%, of course. So it's going to be meaning that Ethereum is going to be going towards the target around the 5,300. And of course, that's going to be exactly come down to towards once again this top side of resistance. So basically a breakout of this range high here, breakout of this downtrend over here on the Ethereum chart is going to be leading towards a touch of this resistance line on the highs here. And of course, it will be meaning that Ethereum is going to be breaking about to $5,000. So is Ethereum going to be breaking about to $5,000 in the month of December? I think it's still possible. I think it's definitely still possible. But of course, at the end of the day, it's going to come down towards what Bitcoin is going to do. And if Bitcoin is going to look a little bit more bullish, yeah, it's going to be Ethereum that's going to be having this bullish edge as well in the market. So as well, a thing that we do know right now, if we're going to look at the Ethereum chart, is that Ethereum here on the Ethereum comparison Ethereum here on the Bitcoin comparison on the daily chart is looking particularly good here. Once we're looking to Ethereum compared to Bitcoin, we are forming, of course, the low in the market over here since the point that we retested here on the weekly time frame, like you can see. We retested this level. Since that retest, of course, we have been anticipating a significant bounce on the market. Like you can see over here, we bounced up very quickly. Then we create this bull flag, and of course, that's the exact opposite as a bear flag. We measured the price target from the swing low to swing high, and going to be measuring it from the low of the bull flag towards the high in the market. And then you can clearly see this price target was the 8.4% here against Ethereum, against Bitcoin, of course. And since, of course, the point of the breakout, we did clearly reach it as well. We had some other levels in mind as well as major resistance, like you can see over here. Resistance, and of course this level provided us, of course, very strong resistance in the past. While we were breaking above it, of course, this level, of course, is no longer resistance, and like you can clearly see, we pushed up right away very quickly. Then we came down again. Then we saw another push up, and right now today we're extremely further on pushing towards the highs. Of course, what we can see right now here are maybe some warning shots on this market, because what we can see here is that Ethereum compared to Bitcoin is still increasing in its valuation. Yes, it is, but please, right now are the times to be, of course, paying your attention. Of course, I am not bearish on Ethereum. I'm extremely bullish on Ethereum, of course, like the channel already knows here. But it looks to be that we're in a parabolic structure, right? So this is in a parabolic structure on the Ethereum compared to Bitcoin comparison. So Ethereum compared to Bitcoin tends to move up very quickly, but it can as well come down again before then continuing its further trend up, right? So right now, what I personally do think here is that this parabolic run up is very close here towards ending. And I do think that Ethereum compared to Bitcoin could be maybe see a cool period, or maybe a sideways action period getting started, something like this here, right? The reason why I'm saying so is because in a parabolic run up, you do not want to be seeing diminishing highs here. And what we are forming right now are diminishing highs. We're forming these lower highs, and of course we're seeing clearly that the strength of the trend here against Bitcoin is decreasing. We're losing power on this trend up here while the market is still parabolic. So this is of course a little bit more of a bearish sign, but of course if Ethereum right now can be seeing another exponential high getting formed here, this will be getting invalidated, and we could be looking for further continuation up here. It's not the reason why right now should sell my Ethereum. No, I've always said to you guys here on the channel, I think Ethereum is one of the best coins to be holding for the long term. And I don't care to really look at the short term if I'm going to look at my Ethereum compared to Bitcoin valuation. But it does show you right now a little bit more of an increasing risk if you're going to be buying or longing it against Bitcoin. I should definitely not trade this chart right now towards the upside if you're going to purely trade Ethereum against Bitcoin, because yeah, there are some trading pairs that you can just only trade Ethereum against Bitcoin, what could make you, of course, some very good profits. But that is clearly showing us right now that we're in some kind of an diminishing high structure, what could be leading towards a continuation down here. But never bad against the odds here, because we're still clearly in an uptrend. And personally, I'm still extremely bullish about Ethereum, where it could be heading towards, because yeah, of the update and the roadmap that they recently released, what they want to be, of course, achieving, of course. So it is looking particularly good right now, and I do think the continuation is going to be most likely very big for Ethereum. Of course, if we're going to really look at a horizontal level that we right now have to be aiming for, I'm going to be aiming for this this range of the let me see, the 4,520 US dollars here, and that's going to be this previous resistance support, and probably once again resistance range here above us. So it's going to be quite a crucial level to be breaking above. But as soon as we do break and clear this level, that could be leading towards a continuation of course, all the way towards the all-time high. So I'm looking forward towards it. Where it could be bringing us, of course, but so far, yeah, it does look quite interesting, and it does look like we're very close by approaching this level. And of course, maybe we could be on the lower time frames, form some kind of a flag here, a bull flag scenario. So let me quickly look at what we could be having from up this point. So yeah, you could be looking for some kind of a bull flag right now. We formed a significant lag towards the upside, like you can see over here. Right now, we're forming a flag from that point here. And of course, if we're going to see the top side getting broken, we're going to look for a continuation towards targets around the 4,700 US dollars. So if Ethereum can right now break the trend here on the highs, well, yeah, we could be looking, of course, for this continuation towards the upside. And we could be for sure look for some higher targets going to get reached here on this market. So yeah, I'm personally really looking forward towards where we are heading towards from this range here. I do think it's going to be extremely likely to expect as well to see this this continuation getting formed here on the market for Ethereum compared to the US dollar valuation here. So it's looking good. It's looking good. Which altcoin is looking bullish right now? And that's a very good question. I mean, I'm always bullish on coins that are massively down. Reason why here is because, yeah, maybe in the coming 2 weeks here, these coins that are massively in the red right now are not going to be performing the best. They're not going to be performing the best. There are going to be probably people say, no, they're not looking good, or no, they're too big of a downtrend. But if you want to be making good money in altcoins especially, and in Bitcoin and in cryptocurrency market especially, you buy in towards downtrends. I mean, a coin that is, by the way, right now bouncing very strongly back here is, of course, Chainlink. Chainlink, of course, right now could be maybe show us some more momentum with it, but of course we do know in terms of the highs, it came down massively. It came down in approximately 50% or even beyond, of course. It came down approximately 60%. Of course, since the lows, it recovered already in approximately 50%. So you do know that there is a lot of opportunities on these cryptocurrencies. As you can see right now in front of your screen here, you could literally make a 50% gain in 4 days. It's crazy, of course, in the periods that we're right now living in. And Chainlink is bouncing back very quickly here, because Chainlink was too oversold, in my opinion. Chainlink came too far down here from the highs, and because it came down so massively, yeah, it tends to be as well bouncing back very quickly towards the upside again here. So that's the reason we saw Chainlink forming this massive bullish divergence, so lower low getting formed on the market. What we were seeing, so we're forming a high low on the RSI, and this was your accumulation range here, around to $17. Extremely cheap price here. Buying Chainlink below the $20 is a cheap Chainlink that you're buying. Of course, from that point, we increase towards the highs here. Right now, we're forming some bearish divergence. We're forming a hidden bearish divergence from the previous high here. Lower high getting formed on the market, higher high on the RSI. So that's for sure a thing that you should be taking your eyes wide open on right now here. So please take that in consideration. It's very important to look at right here. Of course, if you're going to look at the daily time frame, you can see this green box with right now should have been flipping red here. So let me make it red real quickly. Previous support and resistance zone, major support and resistance zone. In terms of volume support, etc., this is an extremely level to trade above here. So if Ethereum, if Chainlink can right now see this continuation towards the highs, and if Chainlink can right now see, of course, a close above the $24, this is going to be very bullish for the market, because this is going to be allowing it to recover, and of course it could be allowing a Chainlink to, of course, see a further continuation back towards the highs here. So what is going to be crucial right now is to close above this level. Of course, already close above the $21 is going to be good in my opinion. So yeah, that's looking pretty decent. Of course, If we're going to look at as well some trend lines here that we could be right now aiming for is of course this critical resist line above us right now that we could be approaching. This critical resist line above us could be a very important level that we have to be breaking above here. So you can clearly see already 2 touch points over there, and of course if we're going to be approaching it, I'm very curious about how the market is going to react towards this level. So this is going to be a level that we're going to be aiming for. But guys, before I get into Chainlink, I just saw that Bitcoin closed a new 1 hour candle, and I just saw that we as well printed a new 1 hour candle. So once again, congratulations for everyone who did survive another 1 hour here on the cryptocurrency space here. Because yeah, you just survived another hour, and hopefully this hour could be of course a little bit better for Bitcoin. And maybe we could be seeing, of course, this continuation towards the upside getting created. Of course, we could be as well talk if we're going to look at Ethereum, Bitcoin, and maybe a little bit of a lower time frame consolidation pattern here, of course, where we are going to see, of course, the resistance line from the highs coming down here. That we're going to see, of course, several resistance lines from the highs coming down here, and that we could be maybe look for some kind of a breakout anytime soon here on the 30-minute time frame here. What could be leading towards some more volatility, but right now we're trading in the middle of this pattern. So everything could still be playing out here. Maybe if you're going to be approaching from the 15-minute, yeah, you can clearly see. We're squeezing the price action in towards an apex because we're forming lower highs, and at the same time, we're forming higher lows here. So this is very interesting. The price action is getting squeezed in towards an apex, and this usually, if you're going to see these kinds of consolidation periods, it usually is going to show you there is going to be a massive volatility shock anytime soon here. So please do expect it as well. I do think that we could be still see this massive volatility be imminent on the stream here, and we could be seeing massive volatility getting enabled on this on the stream right now here. So I'm looking forward towards that one getting visited. And by the way, I do see the chat as well say right now 54% of the chat is thinking that $41,000 is going to be happening first for Bitcoin than 60k. So that's pretty interesting. There are more bearish people right now voted on the poll than bullish people. Of course, that gives me a little bit of a bullish edge in the back of my mind here. Like I said several times before, I'm only going to be anticipating lower targets on the market as soon as Bitcoin is going to be breaking the lower side of the bear flag, of course. And of course, if we are going to be breaking down at the bear flag, that is going to, for me, lead towards continuations towards the downside. But as long as we're not breaking down, I am not going to be anticipate price actions towards the downside. So please take that as well in consideration. I think it's going to be very important to look at, because as long as the market is not necessarily trading in this big downtrend, I should not be as well expecting to see this continuation towards the downside. So yeah, Chainlink, of course, so far doing pretty decently. Of course, it came down massively compared to Bitcoin, compared to Ethereum. But of course, if we're going to zoom out here towards Chainlink on the weekly chart, we do know that it was trading on massive accumulation ranges here. Like you can see over here, previous resistance and support was found on this green box here. And so far, this green box is still providing us the support towards the upside. So Chainlink compared to Bitcoin has been trading on a massive downtrend here in the weekly time frame. Chainlink compared to Bitcoin came down massively from the highs here. And like you can see over here, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high getting formed here. And yeah, we're coming down basically very quickly from the higher ranges, of course, on the market. Hopefully we could be seeing, of course, this lower high trend getting broken here. And hopefully we could be seeing this lower high trend, yeah, of course, not getting continued on this market on the weekly time frame. So I'm for sure looking forward towards what we could be seeing from up this level, of course, and hopefully we could be seeing a bounce back from up the Chainlink compared to Bitcoin price action from up this range here. Of course, Chainlink compared to Ethereum coming down massively from the last support range, and this could be right now aiming, of course, for this different support range on the lows over here. What is, of course, trading, of course, on this 0.4% range here. What could be, of course, be a very strong level that could be providing a bounce here. But of course, Chainlink already failed to hold on towards quite a lot of ranges. What I do think is a little bit more unfortunate, but right now we're trading literally on the last legs here on the Chainlink compared to Ethereum valuation, because yeah, Ethereum is definitely taking out so much valuation right now compared to Ethereum. So that's, of course, a little bit unfortunate to see so on this range over here. So I would love to see, of course, the market curving back towards the highs from up this point over here. Rover, will you check Casper? Yeah, we'll check it in a second. I like your non-stop energy. I mean, of course, guys, we do have non-stop energy. I mean, the energy is so extremely high on my side, and I definitely can't wait to expel it, of course, on these streams here. So that's the reason why I love streaming. I love to put my energy into streams here because, yeah, it just generally makes me very happy, of course, to talk with you guys about crypto, of course. So a thing that we right now have to be talking about is, of course, the S&P 500, guys. The S&P 500 is maybe a thing that you maybe don't like to discuss whatsoever, but eventually the S&P 500 is going to be telling us how the general market is looking. And have we been calling And have we been seeing this market reversal here on the S&P 500? I mean, yes. Hell yes. The S&P 500 is recovering very strongly. And I can tell you right now, the S&P 500 is only down another 0.7% from its all-time high. So I am very bullish on the S&P. The S&P shoot up massively yesterday towards the upside. Of course, Bitcoin not necessarily dragged with it, but of course there's one positive note, a side note from it. Because the S&P 500 is right now not anymore in a downtrend, Bitcoin cannot be dragged down here. Of course, it can get dragged down here if the S&P 500 is going to crash right now. But one very positive side here is that the stock market recovers so quickly right now here. And once again, so many people on this range over here, were saying the stock market is going to go in a crash. And of course, like I said several times before, once the majority of the people is going to say the stock market is going to crash here, it's not going to crash, because there's only going to be a stock market crash once all the investors are there, because a stock market crash will only happen when the least amount of people are going to be expecting it, of course. So we clearly did saw a very strong recovery, because you know why? There was a lot of fear in the market because of the pandemic 2.0 here. The new virus was turning up here and the world was going to be going in another massive lockdown. But then out of nowhere, everything went alright once again here, like we did expect it, because yeah, we do know the world can't go in a financial crisis once we're in the middle of a pandemic, because that just never happens. And you know how they're solving it? By printing more money. And you know where the money is going? Towards the stock market. And that is what we're literally reflecting right now here. We see the stock market going up very, very quickly. And this is, of course, extremely bullish, and a lot of people underestimated this, what kind of effect this could be having on Bitcoin. But because the stock market is about to set new all-time highs here, this is going to be dragging Bitcoin up massively. Because if you don't know yet here, the lag that we got created on the Bitcoin market over here, down here, this lag from the high over here, this was of course from the 10th of November, all the way down to here, was a 22% correction. And the correction happened here because this was also the 22th of November, the high of Bitcoin was here created. This was the reason why Bitcoin got dragged down here. And this all the way towards the low dragged down the stock market 5% here, and Bitcoin down 22%. But right now we're seeing the recovery here on the stock market, and right now Bitcoin has been not recovering with it, right? So we have not seen Bitcoin really bouncing back up again here. But always, it's either Bitcoin that's going to first bounce back against the S&P here, like we did in October, or it's going to be the different way around here. So the S&P 500 shoots up right now, and afterwards, Bitcoin is going to be following again going towards these higher ranges, because there's more money invested once again here, more money flowing in towards the stock market. What is going to result in more money eventually flowing in towards Bitcoin, because there's more money circulating in the investor world here. So it's a very positive side that we do right now. See here, this is going to be having a very good effect on Bitcoin in the coming month ahead of ourselves. And this is as well, this is the fundamental. The stock market is ready for December, right? Like you can see over here. And this is spelling very good news for December, in my opinion. And I personally do expect that December still is going to be an extremely bullish month for Bitcoin. While we, of course, in the beginning of December, of course, I say September, but I meant December, of course. But while we were in the beginning of December, still coming down from these highs, I personally do expect that we're going to be ending in a pretty bullish green monthly candle close, to be honest, especially after seeing the S&P right now recover. And of course, every single time the S&P recovers, it tends to, of course, go further up here, because the FUD is right now away here. And hopefully we could be right now look, of course, at the next movement towards the upside. And of course, we do know that the virus pandemic is, of course, eventually only going to lead in the stock market, and Bitcoin going to increase in its valuations. Because, yeah, people can't spend the money, so what are they going to spend their money on? It's going to be on investments, online investments. And what is the easiest online investment you could be making? It is going to be Bitcoin. So I personally really expect we're going to see here. I remember you said the stock market likes to be patterns over and over. I mean, the stock market tends to do this over and over again here. I've said it several times before, indeed. I said stock market tends to come down here because of fear, and it always tends to curve back. I mean, look at the stock market in the past years. You know why it is literally going parabolic? Because they keep printing money. They keep printing money, and that's the reason why the stock market keeps continuously going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And every single correction, more money flows in towards the stock market. And of course, usually the money that's flowing in towards the stock market is because it's printed money. Of course, in the March crash, of course, because of the pandemic, yeah, we recovered very quickly, and of course, we went towards new all-time highs. and this is going to only result in a further continuation up, of course. And of course, the Evergrande was here in September, the reason why the stock market wasn't fair. But of course, every single month, every single 2 or 3 months here, we're going to get this period of fear. Right now, the fear period is behind us, and we could be looking for a further continuation up here. And the reason stock market is recovering, Bitcoin is settling down on this lows here. You can see it as well in the fear and greed index, the pussy index basically. So we can see once again trending back to 28. So the fear and greed index is standing up right now, and we're standing on 28. What is of course having a little bit more of an still with fear, but a little bit neutral than of course the extreme fear that we did saw in the market the last time around, of course. So yes, indeed, we do see the fear cooling off right now a little bit, but that's as well because Bitcoin came up towards the highs over there. And of course, the fear and greed index was measured on the let me see, when was it mentioned for the calculate, like it was calculate 8 hours ago. So yeah, pretty interesting what we do have over there. 7 hours ago, excuse me. But yeah, pretty interesting what we do see over here. And 7 hours ago was of course on this candle over here. So yeah, pretty interesting what we did saw over there. But indeed, the fear is still very, very high on this market. But let's see how it's going to be playing out. Just like I explained to everyone out there on the channel, because I do see, of course, the market squeezing its price action in towards an apex. I personally do think there's going to be a massive amount of volatility getting spelled out of this market. And of course, the volatility direction will be, of course, either towards the upside if we're going to form higher highs than these high over here, and if we're going to form lower lows than the low over here, we're going to look for, of course, more bearish price action. So it's going to be very interesting about what this 1 hour candle is going to do here. I personally think we're coming closer and closer towards this massive volatility shock here on the market. And by the way, 4 hourly candle on Bitcoin right now still 2 hours and 48 minutes away here, is flipping back, almost flipping back in towards the green here. What is of course pretty interesting to see here. So let's see what kind of continuation we could be getting from this point here. So let me see what we're having here. Can you please go over Crypto.com and MATIC? Of course, let me start off with going over MATIC. Of course, I would love, of course, to talk a little bit about MATIC, because yeah, MATIC saw this massive breakout, of course. And right now is extremely close towards all-time high. Yesterday, I did took out a 20% profit here, since I've been already up 40% on my MATIC holdings that I bought here on the dip. Of course, I've been up 40%, and I took profits, 20% profits out on my holding position on MATIC from $2.50. I do not really expect this game to cool up right now, but it's only for me to do so to lock in profits. And let's say the market is going to see a continuation down here, I could be accumulating more. But I already made a 40% profit in just a matter of 2 days here. So please take, I mean, that's the reason why I did took out 20% here. Of course, accumulate potentially more tokens once the market is coming down here. But of course, what we can see right now here, rising wedge was getting formed over here in the market. We broke the top side of resistance. So 2 touch points over there, 3, 4 touch points over here getting formed on this market. And we broke out through the upside, the top side of resistance. So we broke the top side of resistance. Since then, we saw a continuation towards the upside, and of course we can clearly see resistance getting retested as support, and since of that point, of course, we have been seeing a massive continuation towards the upside so far. And personally, I do as well believe that this is going to be helping MATIC to send it absolutely parabolic towards the upside. So daily time frame on MATIC is looking extremely good here. And guys, before going further into MATIC, and of course a lot of other coins as well here, do not forget to slap up the like button, because we're right now only 17 likes away before smashing it up towards the 300 likes. So only 17 of you guys right now have to smash up that like button. And of course, if we can only see the 300 likes already getting reached here before being 45 minutes into stream, it will be truly amazing. So 17 of you guys right now have to slap it up, and let's do it, of course. So yeah, MATIC is looking particularly decent right now in the daily time frame, and personally, I do think this is going to be for sure lead towards a continuation towards way higher ranges, of course, on this market. Of course, the range that we're going to be aiming for are going to be the horizontal highs, of course, from over here. So far, yesterday and today, we're getting rejected by the previous daily resistance target from the MATIC price section. So let me put up daily over here as well, because yeah, you can clearly see this is daily resistance, and let me put this over here. So yeah, you can clearly see daily resistance is getting formed on the top side over here on the market. And of course, the daily resistance for MATIC is going to be an important level to MATIC to break above here. And right now we're just training against it. So this daily candle close is going to be once again pretty important to see where it is heading towards. If this daily candle close is going to be closing above the previous all-time high, yeah, this is for sure going to lead in towards more exponential price surges. So take this in consideration. Rejection from this level could be maybe result in more some price squeezes over there before them breaking out. But most likely, yeah, we're going to see a very bullish continuation for the MATIC price section from this point. Of course, MATIC compared to Bitcoin, massive shoot up here towards the highs. Right now, we're not really necessarily approaching major levels of resistance. If I'm going to compare MATIC compared to Bitcoin, of course, I'm going to look at two ranges, for one for accumulation, one for distribution, right? So distribution is definitely here on the top side. So where I will be is we'll take massive profits on MATIC is going to be on the top side against the Bitcoin valuation. So top side is distribution, lower side is accumulation. So of course, as soon as MATIC compared to Bitcoin is going to increase back towards the highs here, I'm going to look for, of course, distribution, of course, and I'm most likely going to sell the majority of my tokens. So if the market is going to once again see this double top getting visited, yeah, it could be a chance that we're going to be breaking through here. But of course, we do know as well, after such a exponential rally up here, it is sometimes good to take some profits off the table. And that's the reason why, of course, MATIC, as soon as MATIC is going to increase back towards those highs over here, what is going to still be another increasement of 17, yeah, let's say 20% against Bitcoin. What is quite a big of an increasement from this point. Could, of course, still spell a lot of gains from up this point being made here. Especially if Bitcoin is as well going to be moving up, you'll be showing us, of course, some, let's say, still 20 or 30% gain towards the upside. That for me, for sure, is going to be distribution on the highs here, and I'm looking forward towards taking some profits on those ranges here. So that's going to be for sure very important to look at right now here. But let me as well real quickly go over Crypto.com here, and what we do expect with Crypto.com. Of course, Crypto.com on the daily time frame bouncing back very, very strongly here towards the highs. Of course, retested this 51 cents level, since then came up again. Right now it has been now retesting the resistance line from the top here. Of course, I would love to see this resistance line from the top getting visited again, and of course, if we do test this high, yeah, we could be maybe see, of course, a breakthrough of this level. I'm looking forward towards seeing this level getting broken. Of course, you can see previous support right now flipping into resistance. Of course, a lot of horizontal levels on the chart are getting enabled here. So yeah, you can clearly see this. This was a very, very, very strong level of resistance that we have been trading against. And yeah, you can clearly see this level was right now providing a rejection. And hopefully we could be seeing a continuation towards the upside getting created from this point here. So yeah, it's pretty exciting what Crypto.com is right now doing. It's once again is forming this higher high structure together with the higher lows here. So higher high getting formed, higher low as well. That's of course looking a little bit more bullish on the imminent short term. But for sure, we could be maybe approach it like some kind of a rising wedge structure, like you can see here, increasing highs here, increasing lows, massively increasing lows here. So this could be, of course, resulting in, of course, yeah, rising wedge pattern that could be looking for a breakdown. But of course, I will be aiming for the horizontal levels for accumulation, and of course, this downward slope resistance line to get broken. Because if we do break the downward slope resistance line, I do think that, let's say, the Crypto.com price actually could be see a continuation towards the upside, and I'm very curious about what we could be getting from that point. Mr. Mogul is asking us, will pump market with teas or of a batch? Check RUNE. Thanks, King Rover. So, Mr. Mogul, thank you for tuning in towards the stream again here. And I will check Casper, man. Just calm down. I will check it. Give me a moment. But indeed, I will be going over RUNE here in a second. I will be going over RUNE over here. And yeah, so far it looks to be, of course, this downside resistance line of Crypto.com is going to be crucial left to be breaking through here on the Crypto.com price action, of course. So yeah, we'll keep my eyes wide open here on Crypto.com right now to see the stop side getting broken, of course, on this market. But let me check over RUNE here real quickly. Rover Pluton is heading to Rick City. Ross Palmer, I will be as well going over Pluton in a moment from now on. I will be go over everything, of course. So let me see what we could be seeing from up this point, of course. So RUNE $7.50 here. Since yesterday it came down again after the bullish diversion that we got created on the market. What we can currently see here is that we are having an increasing amount of momentum joining in towards the market. So we see RSI climbing back up higher, while the price action not necessarily forming higher lows yet here. Of course, previous low was indeed a higher low, but it's of course not a beautiful higher low that you would like to see, of course, on this market. So yeah, RUNE is indeed still in this downward sloping period. Still going to say it's going to come down towards Bitcoin, of course, since we do know the stock market flip bullish here. This could be having a wider positive effect on Bitcoin. So we're going to for sure wait to see how the stock market is going to play right now with Bitcoin and what kind of effect the stock market will be having on the Bitcoin market. Because yeah, if Bitcoin is going to flip bullish again, it's most likely going to as well allow to see RUNE a further continuation towards the upside. Of course, for sure, a very unfortunate RUNE is trading below the range over there. Daily time frame, not a lot of have been changing. Still, daily time frame trading on this horizontal range over here. In terms of momentum, yeah, we went oversold here on almost oversold on the daily time frame. So indeed, you're buying on the lower risk band right now here. And of course, what could be really helping to send RUNE towards the moon here is, of course, their mainnet getting launched here. So Thorchain really have to be launching their mainnet in order to see a massive amount of momentum getting created behind of this chart here. That so far, yeah, it's indeed down massively, but right now I think, yeah, holding strong could be maybe the best option right now here, then standing against a loss, of course. But yeah, indeed, RUNE is still significantly forming lower highs here, while of course like Bitcoin and Ethereum are forming, of course, way stronger highs right now on the market. So that's pretty unfortunate to see. So to be very honest, of course, if we're going to look at RUNE compared to, let's say, Bitcoin, yeah, we can clearly see it's losing a lot of valuation from the highs, right? So the RUNE compared to Bitcoin, to be honest, is not looking all too bad here. Of course, from the highs it came down massively, but so far it is indeed forming, let's say, a higher low trend over here. It's forming a higher low trend, and it's definitely forming, of course, this this increasing highs, of course, like you can see over here, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So we're forming, of course, an increasing higher trend, a higher low trend here, which is of course definitely very lovely to see. As well, from the highs, we're forming lower highs on the high, and we're definitely forming, of course, some kind of a squeeze in towards the price section, because yeah, lower highs getting formed, higher lows getting formed as well, is going to be eventually result in, of course, a direction getting chosen on the market where we're going to be exponentially move towards. So it's going to be either exponential drop off, what I do not really expect here, or either an exponential rally up here, what is more likely to expect, of course, on this market, especially if they're going to be launching their mainnet. So of course, on the bigger scale as well, I mean, if you're already in doubt, start to zoom out, of course. And right now it looks like these are definitely accumulation ranges, especially on the weekly time frame compared to the Bitcoin chart. So I think compare your assets against Bitcoin. Just look at how they are performing against Bitcoin. And so far, you can clearly see on the RUNE against Bitcoin chart, you can clearly see support getting found, higher low, higher low, higher low. And the RUNE compared to Bitcoin is, of course, on the weekly time frame right now on these accumulation ranges here. It's trading on the accumulation ranges, and it could be for sure see this continuation towards the upside getting enabled from this range here. So do not really expect RUNE to come down massively from the highs. I'm not personally really expecting that. I personally think we're extremely close towards the bottom. Of course, compared to Bitcoin, maybe if Bitcoin is going to come down here, it could be dragging the US dollar valuation of RUNE still a little bit lower here. But if we're going to look at, is it worth to take the risk on RUNE compared to Bitcoin? If it does look like yes, of course, we have been as well forming higher highs, right, and forming higher lows as well in the market. This is, of course, looking like a beautiful continuation on this chart here, and this could be leading towards a beautiful continuation towards higher levels as well in this market. So yeah, very, very interesting, of course, what we do have over here. You can see horizontal resistance getting found over here. So far, there's resistance, of course. So far, we are finding a lot of resistance on this level, and hopefully we could be flipping this level as well to support. So far, we have been doing it for several candles in a row here. So I'm looking forward towards what we could be having from this point. Of course, I personally do think this is going to be an extreme big level of support that we are right now trading on. So I'm looking forward towards what we could be getting here, but RUNE compared to Bitcoin, so far, weekly time frame bouncing back very strongly. What's up, Rover? Have you looked already at Crypto.com? Yes, we already did so. So, of course, if you do want to be seeing the thoughts about Crypto.com, don't forget to go a little bit back in towards the stream here, because there we, of course, in depth, of course, discuss all the thoughts about the Crypto.com here, if you do want to be checking it out, of course. Still, some people are very bearish, and of course that's very likely. Of course, we can currently see, if we're going to look at the poll here on the chat, is that 52% of the people are expecting we're first going to reach the 41k here before once again seeing an increase towards higher levels. So I'm very curious about what we could be getting, of course, from here. So I'm definitely looking forward towards on that point here. Do you think when Ethereum goes up here, MATIC will follow? I don't necessarily think that Ethereum and MATIC are going to be following each other, but yes, it's likely. Once altcoins are increasing, it's going to be Bitcoin that's going to increase as well in its valuation. So let me quickly check up on Pluton. So Pluton is absolutely doing something very crazy right now. So yesterday it came down from the highs here. It's trading on $7.55 again. So Pluton, of course, taking a particularly big hit here, of course, compared to these different coins here. Of course, still said this several times before. If we're going to remove all the drawings, you can clearly see Pluton. Yes, indeed, it came down from the highs, but it is indeed in this parabolic structure over here still. And I personally think that we are in the beginning of something very big to get started over here. So Pluton indeed does allow us right into, of course, have some more better accumulation ranges. But personally, what I expect here, just like we did saw in a previously time around here, is that we're in a parabolic structure and that the market is about to go parabolic. that we're going to see, of course, parabolic gains are going to be made on this market. So I'm personally looking forward towards what Pluton is going to do from this point. $7.55 here is, of course, the level that we're right now trading against. And personally, it's going to be likely to expect, of course, a bounce back towards the highs from up this point here. So yeah, I'm personally looking very much forward towards what Pluton is going to do on this level. $7.55 is still particularly cheap if you compare it towards the levels where we're trading on $12, of course. So yeah, could be bouncing back very quickly. But of course, if we're going to look at our horizontal levels, yeah, we can clearly see we came down below it. We retested, of course, the downward resistance line again. And hopefully we could be seeing a bounce back on today's candle. But yeah, personally, if we're removing all those wrongs, just like I show you, we're still in a very strong uptrend. We're still forming higher lows, higher highs, and we're basically in a parabolic trend. So don't be surprised if this market is going to be flipping parabolic anytime soon here. And don't text me if you did miss out on the gains, of course. So I mean, Pluton is not looking all too bad, to be honest. And of course, it's getting dragged down because of Bitcoin. Because if Bitcoin was not down so quickly, of course, if Bitcoin was not getting dragged down here, Pluton was most likely shooting even further up here. But so far, yeah, Bitcoin dragged us down. But we are right now waiting for the further continuation up here. $7.55 level that we're right now trading on. And hopefully, we could be closing today's candle once again above this green box of resistance again. So I'm looking forward towards how today's candle is going to be closing out over here. So let me see. The Bitcoin dominance looks like it's bottoming out. Do Polkadot? I will be going over Polkadot after I checked out on the Bitcoin dominance. So what is the Bitcoin dominance right now doing here? And did I remove my Bitcoin dominance chart? No, I didn't. So Bitcoin dominance looks like bottoming out. No, I don't think so. Of course, I've been making my predictions on the Bitcoin dominance already here on the midpoint of October. I've been making my prediction on the Bitcoin dominance midpoint of October, and this does not even look like bottoming out, in my opinion. This does not even look like bottoming out. And so far, our prediction, of course, if you have been watching the channel for quite a long time already here, you do probably know about our prediction that we made here. And of course, our prediction that we did make here for the Bitcoin dominance chart here is that, of course, we were looking at this downward sloping resistance line from the highs here. So from the lows, of course, you can clearly see here we got supported, then we broke below it, rejected. And of course, while we were approaching this level, I called for a continuation back towards the orange line while we were trading here on the 47% here. Right now we're trading on 40%. So at that point, I started to be accumulating more altcoins. And right now it could be it's still swinging in towards the favor of an altcoin, because you know what, if you're going to purely remove these wrongs, you can clearly see we're forming an M pattern indeed. And an M pattern is a bearish bias pattern with a bearish continuation towards lower targets. So do expect this as well. I personally do expect that we could be seeing this continuation towards the downside getting formed, of course, and I do personally as well expect that the Bitcoin dominance is going to be, first of all, maybe retest the lows here, then maybe see some cool periods, and then going to see a continuation towards the downside. But yeah, indeed, the 39.8% is basically, of course, a previous resistance support zone. And of course, this orange line below is going to be my target here, 35.4% for the altcoin dominance, because that was the previous market low here on the altcoin dominance, of course, on the Bitcoin dominance. And that's, of course, a reason why I do expect that level is going to be providing good support. But so far, indeed, we have been still trading in the downtrend. Of course, we are clearly continuing as well in our way towards the downtrend. You can clearly see lower high getting formed here, and pattern getting formed as well on the market. And of course, if we're going to look at the altcoin dominance, so the exact opposite chart, you can clearly see this. This is a previous resistance, a support zone, previous support flipped into resistance over here, and there's going to be a level that we have to be breaking through. Of course, previous in 2017 to 2018, of course, we found a lot of resistance on this level. Right now, we're still finding a lot of resistance on this level, and hopefully, we could be breaking above it. And of course, on this chart, it does clearly look like a beautiful W, of course. With a higher low getting formed on this market, this is going to be a beautiful W that we are going to see a continuation with. And this could be leading, of course, towards the market seeing a continuation back towards the 70% for the altcoin dominance. And of course, that's going to be meaning that Bitcoin is going to go all the way down to 31% here in its valuation on the Bitcoin dominance. So I personally think there's still a lot of things to come for the altcoin dominance right now here, and it's looking particularly strong right now here. So I'm looking forward towards what we could be getting from this range here, but it would be making a lot of sense if we're going to see, of course, the altcoin still increase in its valuation, especially since we're right now going for the third retest, and of course this W retest we're currently getting here on this market. So looking very good. Rover, did you follow the course when you stopped with school? No, I never followed a course. I always did self-education by reading books and just doing it. And of course, Googling, because Google is your best friend, and you can literally find everything in Google, of course. So no, I've never followed a course, but I think, yeah, courses are good. I definitely regretted them maybe a little bit. Maybe I would have been following a course, because probably I would have learned everything a little bit quicker, and I would have made less mistakes. But because I didn't follow the course, I made my whole own opinion about everything, and that's what I do like right now, and that's the reason why I'm very happy that I did not done it eventually, of course. So yeah, I'm looking forward towards it. I'm looking forward towards what we could be getting from this point. But I was going to go over Polkadot here, and as well I see Emir talk about VeChain. We'll be going as well over VeChain afterwards as well. But let me talk a little bit about Polkadot. So Polkadot, of course, came down massively towards our accumulation ranges. First of all, we're going to be asking ourselves the question: is Polkadot worth accumulating right now? If we're going to compare the Polkadot compared to Bitcoin chart, yes, I've said it several times before. The green box over here in front of our head, in front of our screen here, is your accumulation range for the Polkadot price action on the Bitcoin comparison. So yes, right now it's a good time to be accumulating Polkadot. As well, have been warning you guys since we saw the breakdown, since we saw the rejection over here coming in towards the market. So from this point, of course, over here, I was expecting a continuation towards the downside, and of course the continuation that we were expecting was, of course, this continuation towards the 28 US dollars. So the 28 US dollars was getting touched here. Resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance, support, support. So this was your accumulation range. You maybe already a little bit missed it, but we're still particularly close towards it. But yeah, indeed, this green box on the lower side is indeed your buy zone for the Polkadot price action, in my opinion. I personally see this as an extreme good accumulation range for Polkadot, and I think a lot of people will probably agree with me about that one. So once again, going to say, because Polkadot compared to Bitcoin is right now bottoming out, I do not really expect to see Polkadot dropping further on if Bitcoin is going to see correction. But if Bitcoin is going to correct from this point, we do expect that Polkadot is as well going to still follow Bitcoin. So Polkadot is going to hold up this level as long as Bitcoin is not going to do something crazy. So please keep your eyes wide open on Bitcoin right now, because Bitcoin is going to really determine about where this market is heading towards. And if this market is not going to show us any significant volatility or any significant directions where it's heading towards, no, we're not going to really see Polkadot moving towards any direction from this point. So take that in consideration. Polkadot is going to be, of course, most likely hold up this level, but if Bitcoin is going to see another flash towards the downside, this is going to be for sure result in a continuation down for the Polkadot price action, and that's going to be for sure result in as well some lower targets going to reach for Polkadot. So that's the thing that we should be looking at right now, and that's the thing that we could be expecting. Of course, Polkadot is creating similar structures like Bitcoin currently is here, like this flag, of course, or this rising wedge, however you would be anticipating it. But yeah, pretty interesting. We're forming a bear divergence from the highs. Lower high on the market, higher high on the RSI. So that's pretty unfortunate to see so. But yeah, indeed, we are right now forming a hidden bearish divergence. So yeah, it could be, we already came down from that range, of course, but so far we're still forming a higher low. And it's going to come really down towards Bitcoin. I think really, if we're going to be looking at Polkadot right now, we have to be determining about what Bitcoin is going to do here. So by the way, Bitcoin came down a little bit on the past 15-minute candle here. So far, in the literally last 3 minutes, look at what Bitcoin done here in the last 3 minutes. Bitcoin has been doing nothing. So these are the last 3 minutes, and we moved, of course. We had like 280,000 US dollar volume. That's not a lot, of course. It's not a lot. So yeah, pretty interesting, of course, that we did got this on the market. But so far, Bitcoin is doing not quite a lot, of course. It's just basically doing nothing. It's just trading on the 5,375 here for the past four minutes right now. So of course, you do not see this low amount of volatility for a long time here. But yeah, right now Bitcoin comes down here. Of course, it does look quite a little bit way worse than it actually is here, because it's just a come down from 75 US dollars. So indeed, it's not so heavy like you think it is probably. But yeah, Bitcoin is coming down towards the 50.3K right now. And of course, like I told everyone before, we're going to choose some more volatility if we're going to be closing a lower low than the low over here on the 50-minute. So let's see if we could be closing a low below the 50.2K here, 50.1K approximately. So yeah, it would be truly interesting if we could be seeing something, because yeah, I said it several times before. If this market is right now going to come down here towards this 49.6K, 49.5K level. So basically the green box why I've been talking about, it is going to be showing us a very good imminent short-term bounce, in my opinion. And it could be, of course, allow us to add a lot of more fuel towards this market. So I'm personally very excited about this candle, what we could be getting up right now. And it's looking good. It's looking good. Bitcoin is indeed a bitch. Bitcoin indeed drags the market down or up whatsoever. Patrick Smorenberg, I will be for sure going over it. I will keep it here on my second screen, and I will be going over it in a second. But first of all, a little bit Bitcoin discussion. Bitcoin is indeed so far, of course, going to be dragging the coins with it. Yeah, Bitcoin is just going to be, it's the leader of the market. And once Bitcoin comes down, it's going to drag a lot of other coins with it as well. So that's just a fact. Of course, coins that are down massively today is Solana, $190 US. So we'll be going over it in a moment. But I will be going over VeChain, Solana still. But Dent, what can we see over here? Dent looks to be doing pretty interesting stuff right now, right? So Dent, of course, came down pretty high, pretty massively from the highs here. And yeah, so far Dent not showing us a lot of super interesting things here. Of course, it came pretty hard up from the highs over there. In October, it's setting on new all-time highs. So yeah, donating to the channel. You're saying great hair, Rover. Thank you so much. What are your thoughts on Kadena? Previously said it was going to go probably up here, but before Bitcoin dumps. Do you still think it's going to? I mean, Kadena is a good project. And Ilya, once again, I'm going to go over it in a second because we still got quite a lot of things to discuss right now. But give me a real quick second, by the way. So, yeah, Dent, what are we seeing for Dent? Of course, Dent, first of all, currently forming equal lows. We're forming some kind of a bottoming structure. We're forming some kind of a range where we could be, of course, see Dent bounce back very strongly from off. So far, of course, it looks to be at this level, resistance, support again, and support as well over here. So yeah, definitely very exciting what we do see over here on this market. And definitely excited that we do see this level providing us resistance right now. Of course, we see as well top side is providing resistance. So we basically have two ranges. We have a distribution range and we have an accumulation range for Dent right now in the time that we're right now trading in. And so far, every time we bounce from the lows, we tend to go up here, top side providing resistance. So Dent, really what I do not like to see here is it's losing strength here compared to the previous rally here in August. So that's pretty unfortunate to see for Dent. Moved up very quickly, came down massively from the highs. So far it's not doing a very strong job here, but yeah, indeed you're trading at accumulation. But do you really want to be buying into projects that are not really increasing in strength from the previous highs over there? I mean, maybe it could be showing us a lot of strength right now in this rally that we could be getting generated, but personally, I do think this is definitely a very fair valuation that you could be accumulating on. And of course, last time around you made a 120% profit. So this is a good buy range, I should say. Yes, here, if we're going to look at the daily RSI, yeah, we can clearly see we're forming, but we're all about to go oversold. So the risk is most certainly very low here, but it doesn't take away that we could still go lower. Of course, if we're going to go lower, we're going to look at the ranges around the let me see, 1.7% here, of course. So yeah, I'm looking forward towards what we could be getting towards from this range. So I'm very curious about what we could be seeing from this level, but I think Dent is definitely at a fair valuation for accumulation. But it will be surprised if we could be still seeing market low getting from that point. But it's very hard to say what this market is going to do right now here, because yeah, there's not a lot of information to reflect on right now. But real quickly, I'm going to as well look into a lot of things here. We'll first do the super chats before going into VeChain as well. Solana, of course. So we'll be going over Kadena, of course. We have been seeing Kadena coming down massively. By the way, well, Bitcoin is coming down as well. We do see. Right now, Bitcoin, of course, is coming down in the minute short term. There's still 21 more minutes to work into closest 1 hour candle. So that's pretty interesting. But I think Kadena is a very, very good coin. It's a very good project. I've said several times before. On the market come down here because yeah, we have been already discussing after correction. Very good accumulation range, going to be around the $8 in my opinion. Of course, what we can see over here is that this is a very strong support range. And this is going to be most likely level that we could be holding up very well here. So you can see clearly support getting found over there, support as well over here. And this level is so far holding us up very well here. So very interesting what we do see on this market. Kadena is of course still in a massive downtrend. But of course, I think that's good is that I do like the project. And of course, that we could be maybe return the high back towards the highs here. So if you're buying Kadena over here, you could be in for a 1 to 70% increase towards the highs. I do not think that this is all too bad of a buy right now here, Kadena. And I think, yeah, right now, yeah, definitely you're buying at lower risk stages and buying into the parabolic run up, of course. So yeah, pretty interesting that we do see over there. Pretty interesting what we could be seeing from this point, of course. But Kadena is definitely a coin that I do like to see, of course, getting increased here from this point. I do like the project, and I think it's pretty fair valuations for accumulation. But then as well, SA is donating to the channel. You're saying, bro, they dump the market, then they make the market boring and hope you pray that that you lose interest and stop tracking it. Then they pump it, so you FOMO in, and they dump on you. Rinse and repeat. I mean, it usually is true here because, I mean, if we're looking back towards the previous corrections on the market was indeed very boring. I mean, over here as well, market was pretty boring. People didn't like to see this. People were afraid market was boring. And of course, over here as well, market was pretty boring. And then we came down, market was pretty boring. But so far, yeah, I don't really think the market is necessarily definitely very boring. Of course, not a lot of interesting things are happening right now. To be honest, I have to give that one to you, of course. But eventually, yeah. SA, we do know that this game of crypto, the game that we're right now in here, it's just a game of patience. Bitcoin is a game of patience, and if you can't handle the patience, and if you can't withstand the patience, yeah, you're definitely on the wrong side here. Because Bitcoin, you have to be patient. You have to be patient, very, very patient over here. Because yeah, Bitcoin is a longer term investment. It's not that you're going to become massively rich overnight. No, you become rich with Bitcoin if you're just going to be holding it long enough here. And of course, buying the lows, buying the dips is definitely one of the best strategies that you can do here. And of course, the people that will be most likely to stay poor forever are the people that are standing in the dip here and the people that are flipping bearish in a dip here and flipping bullish in a pump here. So what the big investor strategies are is usually to trade on market reversals. And of course, like I told everyone before already, I'm going to drop out a video tomorrow about why I do think a market reversal is extremely close right now and why it is right now definitely a low risk buy zone that we're trading on. So I think you're saying definitely yeah, interesting things there. Of course, I think it's indeed not partially true, not extremely true here, but of course, I mean, still these times in September were pretty exciting. At least I do see this exciting times here, but of course some other people see this as boring times here. I see this as exciting times here because I do like to see the market coming down so quickly because I like to accumulate on these levels here. So indeed, they hope people are going to stop tracking it, lose interest so they can pump it again. Indeed, very interesting. In the end, you will. As long as you're going to hodl, you will always win, guys. I mean, the hodlers, I mean, look at like a Bitcoin. The hodlers always win here. And you guys, you do know who is well winning right now here is that the Ethereum hodlers are winning. Because Ethereum, we're quickly going to reflect on this, is right now on a 3-year low in terms of its total balance on exchanges. So the last time we reached these levels was in September 2018. So 3 years ago, approximately, even longer, 3.5 years ago, Ethereum reached this amount of balance on exchanges. So it's pretty crazy that Ethereum is trading right now on such low levels because the interest on Ethereum has been never cooling off here. That's pretty interesting to see, right? So the available Ethereum on exchanges has been massively dropping right now to levels of 14 million. And you know what's pretty funny? On these last 3 years, we have seen quite a lot of inflation, right? So there is still currently inflation on Ethereum, so approximately 2.4% a year. But still, the balance on exchanges is at 3-year lows here. So it shows us the massive amount of interest. Personally, I do not think it's going to end anytime soon. And personally, I do think that eventually Ethereum will be continuing this trend here. Because what people right now should be doing here as well, and that's the reason why we can reflect this, because the big players are buying up their Ethereum and of course putting it to gold storage and just not look at it anymore. Because Ethereum right now is one of the best buys you can do. And you maybe agree, you maybe disagree, but Ethereum is just the best buy you can personally right now do right over here. Because you know why? Ethereum is going to become the world's biggest deflationary asset, and you can either embrace it or you can either ignore it right now. But personally, I think the best strategy to right now do so is to just embrace the opportunities that Ethereum is going to be allowing you. And of course, take a position in on Ethereum. Hold your Ethereum tokens for maybe 3 years, maybe 4 years, maybe longer to make literally life-changing wealth here, because Ethereum is going to be making you life-changing wealth here. Agree or disagree, but Ethereum is going to be an extremely good long-term holder coin here, in my opinion. And always hodl. And of course, I like to hodl as well. I'm a very, very big hodler. I do like to just hodl tokens, and of course, Ethereum is just going to be make myself so rich. I already know it. Of course, it already made me extremely rich here. I already made very massive gains here on the run up, of course, because yeah, I have been accumulating along a lot of Ethereums on the bear markets. Ethereum is going to be making me, of course, a lot of profits, and it just gives me a very positive view about the future. And of course, I definitely can't wait how the merge upgrade is going to be resulting in, of course, because the merge upgrade is still a thing that people don't understand. I was talking with someone who called himself a cryptocurrency expert. He talked about yeah, oh, I bought this, I bought that, etc., etc., but still he was not aware about he was not aware about the merge that was coming up for Ethereum. So I had to quickly set something. So yeah, he was still not aware about what was playing out in the background. So yeah, pretty unfortunate for him. But yeah, still a lot of people don't know about the merge and about the upgrade that is going to come towards the network. And I think that it is very important to look at right now here, and not paying your attention towards the update that's coming towards the network is irresponsible in my opinion. Because this update that is going to come here, and probably maybe not, still a lot of people here in chat maybe don't know it even as well. Because only, yeah, we are watching with 700 right now here. We are 700 privileged people that do know right now about the merge upgrade. Of course, there are way more people in the world that do know about it. The big players do know about it. But the average Joe investor, they don't know about it. Let me see. Justin van Venke. Solana will flip ETH. I know, I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I don't believe that Solana will be flipping Ethereum at all. But then let me talk about VeChain real quickly. So let me quickly see. Of course, VeChain recovering right now a little bit here. You were talking about an M pattern early on, Amir. I personally do not really see this as an M pattern because yeah, we're forming a lower low right now and higher low again. So an M pattern has to have a neutral low here. That's going to result in a breakdown because you're basically retesting the same range over and over again. But right now we're forming a lower low in the market and then a higher low afterwards. So that's pretty unfortunate to see. So pretty fortunate to see. So I mean, right now, to be honest, we are forming some kind of a squeeze here on the price action. Like you can see over here, we could be seeing, of course, the market moving up in a very rapid pace here anytime soon here. What you can see clearly over here is that the upper support line is getting found over here. What we're seeing, so yeah, we're forming a downside resistance line from the highs, so we're basically squeezing the price action in towards an apex. So for VeChain, yeah, we could be see some imminent volatility on this market, in my opinion. So I'm definitely looking forward towards what we could be getting from this point. I personally do really expect that we're going to see a lot of volatility getting enabled on this chart here. And of course, if we're going to see volatility getting enabled, yeah, we could be seeing, of course, it moving up to either direction, of course, from this range here. So I'm looking forward towards what we are heading towards from this point. But yeah, most likely, we're going to see a lot of volatility getting enabled. If we're going to look at VeChain compared to Bitcoin, we're bouncing back from the lower sides here. And of course, we're in a very big falling wedge pattern. And of course, personally, I do expect this falling wedge pattern is still going to be breaking out anytime soon here. Could be taking a very, very while here before we're going to see so. But of course, if we're going to look at VeChain, I think it's responsible to look at VeChain compared to Ethereum as well. If you're going to look at VeChain compared to Ethereum, we're once again trading at accumulation ranges. And of course, every single time we touched this level, we went, of course, in a massive rally towards the upside, of course. We went in a massive rally towards the upside, VeChain compared to Ethereum. Once it was testing the green box on the lower side, it showed us as well a very strong accumulation range here. And so far, like you can see once again, yeah, VeChain against Ethereum has been touching this level. So is it worth the risk to accumulate your VeChain against Ethereum? I personally think yes here. So swapping Ethereum against VeChain right now, it does look like a very strong opportunity to have right now on the market to, of course, eventually accumulate more Ethereum. But of course, we do know that VeChain is one of those fundamentally coins that are absolutely ready for a massive leg up here. And that's the reason why we are so bullish on VeChain, because VeChain is fundamentally ready for the next leg up towards the upside. So yeah, I'm personally very excited about what we could be getting from this point here. And I personally as well do really expect we're going to see more exponential rallies. And you can see over here, right? So you see exponential rally, low getting formed. A higher high, low getting formed. Higher high, low, same low getting formed. Higher high, low getting formed. What is next? An even higher high than this high? Let's freaking see, guys. Let's freaking see. So pretty excited about what VeChain is right now doing, but it does clearly shows you extreme low risk buys. Extreme low risk buys, of course. So yeah, pretty interesting that we do see over here on the market. So let me quickly check up on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is about to close this 1 hour candle, guys. Currently trading on 50.2k. Of course, have said several times before, close below the 50.1k. It could be maybe enabling and continuating this downward trend that we're currently in here. Could be having, of course, a pretty interesting result on the market here. Let's see how it's going to be playing out, of course. So far looking pretty interesting, of course. So Bitcoin against the US dollar is so far doing a pretty decent job here, but it looks to be that we're going to go for this continuation down here. Since we have been forming this downtrend over here on the market, we're most likely going to see a retracement back towards the green box, of course, on this level. Thank you so much, brother. You helped me so much this year. You got a fan for life, brother. And Amir, I mean, it's really amazing that you were saying this, man. It's definitely very, very nice that you're saying it. So yeah, I'm definitely very excited, exactly for the coming year as well, and ahead of ourselves. Like 2022 is going to be such a long year, of course. Another 365 days where we could be focusing ourselves on. And those 365 days, of course, next year is going to be extremely interesting. What are we going to do in that next year here? Are we going to see massive price increasements? Are we going to see a massive bearish period on the market? Let me know in the chat, guys. How do you think 2022 is going to look like? Let me know in the chat. I'm very curious about what you guys currently think of that here. I'm personally extremely bullish about 2022 because, yeah, the world is going to be just continuing its trend where it is currently in my opinion. The world is going to be continuously going in more financial problems. The world will be having more inflations next year, especially since of the results of the printing this year, of course. So the inflation will keep rising, and it will be keep pushing up the interest for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So I'm looking forward towards how it's going to be playing out. But let me know real quickly, chat, what you guys currently think of it. And of course, while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll be truly appreciated if you're right now today. I'm going to take a few seconds of your time by slapping up the subscribe button. Of course, right now, closing in towards the 72.1k target. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, don't forget to slap it up here so we can reach the 72.1k right now here. So I'm looking forward towards if we could be getting this. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure to do so while Bitcoin is falling down a little bit here. And 2022 will be a bear market. I mean, I just explained it why I do not think it's going to be a bear market, because the interest and inflations will keep rising. So it will be, of course, still will be a bullish year for a whole bullish year for Bitcoin, in my opinion, for crypto in general. I shouldn't do that, Justin. I shouldn't do that, Justin. I should just focus yourself on crypto. Hopefully bullish. I mean, of course, we never know exactly what is going to be playing out. We never know exactly what's going to be playing out here. But everyone's asking me about Solana, and of course, what is Solana doing right now? What is Solana doing? So Solana, we have been looking at it several times. Oh, close below the daily support range. So previous all-time high, retested the support. So Solana looks to be really losing strength right now here. Solana has been really looking to lose strength here on the trend, on the daily time frame, and it has been coming down pretty quickly, of course, from the highs. So Solana, of course, forming higher highs, of course, was in a beautiful trend right now, forming lower highs, equal lows. So far, it looks to be not holding up this level here. If you're going to compare Solana compared to Ethereum, and I say I will be going into ontology here. Still small, but I think it has a lot of potential. We'll be checking it. So Solana against Ethereum has been rising quickly. Right now, it looks to be coming down here. And after this parabolic trend, we're seeing a lot of consolidation. Of course, if we're going to look at Solana, we're going to look at accumulation and distribution ranges, right? So, so far, it looks to be that we're trading in a middle point here. Solana could be seeing a little bit more of a decrease from the highs here before maybe bouncing back here. Of course, Solana compared to Ethereum is important to look at because you can be comparing these projects. So top side resistance, lower side support so far. So Solana, of course, once going to come back towards this lower range, could be showing accumulation. So far on the US dollar pair, it looks to be coming down with a downward slant here because it's forming lower highs together with lower lows on the market getting formed there. So it looks to be creating some kind of a flag here. That could be, of course, playing out and could be having a bullish edge here on the market if it's going to be breaking out towards the upside, of course. So I'm very curious. I'm very curious about how it's going to be playing out right now here for Solana. But yeah, you can clearly see it's trading in this downward trend here. What I will be saying is, of course, as long as we're holding up the lower side of support, we could be looking for still bends back towards the highs here. But as soon as we do fail to hold on towards this lower side of support, yeah, Solana is for sure going to look for some lower targets getting visited from up that point here. So what we could be as well look for is maybe this increasement of this upper summing support line. We're going to be approaching this upper summing support line from there on. Yeah, This could be maybe potentially still hold us up pretty well here. So I'm going to take my eyes wide open as well towards the support line over here that we're right now aiming for. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting about Solana and how it's going to be playing right now here. But so far, it is indeed retraced towards some very critical ranges of support. Your accumulation could be around to 180 US dollars. It could be a pretty fair valuation for accumulation. But yeah, it's still going to say Solana is as well going to follow Bitcoin. And as long as Bitcoin is going to come down here, Solana is going to take a pretty big hit here. And compared to Ethereum, it's losing a lot of valuation. Compared to Bitcoin, is losing a lot of valuation. So Solana is not the coin that's showing the most, the majority of the strength right now in this trend. So Solana already losing some grind right now. So I'm very curious about how it's going to be playing out from this point here. But for sure, we're going to keep our eyes wide open right now here. We're going to keep our eyes wide open on this Solana chart over here. So I'm pretty interested, of course, but I'm going to keep my eyes out on these levels over here. So let me real quick look at Ontology, of course. Still particularly small, but you think it has a lot of potential. Of course, if we're going to look towards the highs that it did form before, yeah, Ontology came down pretty massively, of course, right? So 5 minutes from now on is what we're going to close the 1 hour candle. So guys, don't forget to slap up the like button for a positive 1 hour candle close. Of course, it's only having a 700 million market cap, of course, previously around. I mean, man, oh man, this is a coin with inflation. Look at this. I was not even checked that. I wasn't even aware of it. So, firstly, while we were forming these highs here, we had a 1.2 billion market cap. So we were trading, of course, on let me see, $8.55 here. Right now, we have a 700 million market cap, and we're down approximately 80% here. So we're down 90 to 80% here. Well, the market cap is only 30% lower. So inflation is extremely high here. So for me right now, it maybe takes away, this is a good project to be accumulating right now, to be honest, if I'm looking at it. Of course, it can still increase because they're right now almost out of circulating supply. They're almost to their max supply here. Maybe from that point, this could be a very good coin to be accumulating. But yeah, look just at the past 3 months here. Let's just look at the past year here. You can see the price, of course. I mean, inflation has been coming down right now a little bit here, but of course, from last time around here, the inflation is pretty high since 2018. So that is pretty unfortunate to see. So has a lot of potential for sure. It could have a lot of potential. I'm very interested by it, but I don't like the inflation being so high in this token. So yeah, it came down massively from the highs here in 2021 May. Right now, yeah, it's forming some kind of a bottom over here, bottoming structure. Of course, you can see previous resistance over here getting found on the market. Let me quickly see. Previous resistance getting found on this market over here. Right now flipping into support. So this is for sure a very strong accumulation range, of course, that you're looking at. In terms of distribution range, yeah, you're looking at the top side of resistance over here. You can clearly see this level on the top side providing resistance several times on this market. So I am definitely looking forward towards what we could be heading towards right now from this point. So very curious. So far it looks indeed that we're trading at accumulation ranges. The only thing that I dislike about the project is the longer term inflation. Besides that, yeah, you're looking at a very strong accumulation range right now on the 79 cents here. Basically, of course, your best accumulation range was on 65 cents here. So that could have been a little bit more better. But so far, yeah, indeed, looks like very, very interesting levels that we could be looking at for more accumulation. Of course, upper sloping support line getting formed on the lows here. Downward slope resistance line from the highs. So yeah, indeed, this could be as well even look at some kind of a consolidation pattern playing out right now. What could be resulting in a massive breakout, of course, as well in this market. So I'm looking forward towards how that is going to be playing out here. Personally, as well, think that it's going to be having quite a lot of influence on this market. It's going to result in, of course, quite a lot of volatility as well in this market. So yeah, I'm for sure looking forward towards where Ontology is right now, heading towards 79 census level that we're right now trading on, and it's going to be quite an interesting journey, of course, that we're right now going to be looking at. So yeah, pretty interested, of course, in it, and we're most likely going to see a continuation from this low, of course. It's very likely to assume that. Rover, yo Rover, today's the Capitol Hill hearing, so that's pretty interesting. Could be maybe have some bullish or bearish effect on the market, so it could be maybe allow some more volatility, of course. We do know beginning of the week here, beginning of the week, the Evergrande had to be paying their debts here, but so far I thought maybe they could be having a bearish effect on the market, but so far, yeah, it allowed the stock market to move up already 4.6% on those days. So yeah, stock market is looking pretty good here, to be honest, and yeah, so far we're seeing pretty bullishness on the market across the market, of course. So looking good, looking particularly good here. Ethereum is dumping. No, it's not dumping. You definitely have different opinion about what a dump is than me then probably, but I mean, this is not a dump here, what you can see on this market. This is a candle down here. This is a red candle. You can see it's not even a 1% candle over here. So pretty small one as well. Bitcoin it's just like a 0.5% candle here. So yeah, Bitcoin is coming down a little bit here in 50 seconds from now, and we're going to close the 1 hour candle, guys. If you haven't already smashed up that like button, don't forget to do so right now here. It will be truly appreciated if you're going to be smashing up the like button right now here. So if you haven't already smashed up the like button, make sure to go below the video over here and slap up that like button. Will be truly appreciated if you could be doing so right now. It will be very cool if you can do so. So let me see what we're going to be having from this point here. I think we could be for sure see so. I could be for sure think we can see so. So yeah, 50.1k and 20 seconds away from the 1 hour close. Right now we're going in the 11 a.m. candle. I must say, in the past 11 a.m. candles, we have been not seeing these candles that I would love to see, of course, right? So as well, the real market moves has been really happening. Well, the nights, of course, was pretty unfortunate because I love to see them on the earlier hours, so I can be, of course, stream with it, of course, with you guys out there. But yeah, so far pretty interesting what we do see over here. So far pretty interesting what we do see on this market. But yeah, we are right now seeing a new candle getting printed here. Of course, we're trading it once again at the lows here. It looks to be forming a little bit, having a little bit more of a bearish edge here on this candlestick formation. So let's see how it's going to be playing out. I don't know what you're talking about. Smash up the like button, indeed, guys. Don't forget to do so. Smash up the like button. Will be truly appreciated. Let me see. Your money is only lost if you sell. It's just hiding from you. I mean, yeah, you only lose money if you're selling. I mean, you never made money as well on Bitcoin. Let's say you're up 30%, but you never made money if you're not, of course, selling. And as well, you never make a loss if you're not selling. So as long as you hold your Bitcoins long enough, you're always going to make profits, because Bitcoin will be, of course, inevitably rise in the future, and Bitcoin will be have an inevitably rise here. Are you going to go to the gym today? Yes, of course, every single day, man. Every single day we're going to hit the gym. Of course, it's I mean, I was planning on doing it, of course, like I sometimes do it in the morning, like on 6 a.m. But unfortunately today I was not able to do so so early, because yesterday night something came with it, so it's pretty unfortunate. It's called a pump, not a pump. Pump. It's not pump, but it's a pump, and it's a pump. I like saying it like a pump. MATIC is going crazy indeed. Indeed, MATIC is doing pretty crazy jobs right now. So let me see if we do have something interesting. Sell the greed, buy the fear. Don't smell fear. I mean, yeah, we do know it's a very good strategy. We do know, of course, if we're going to look back to previous times here, let's go to look to the past year. The market has been trading several times on the fear ranges, and every single time we have been trading on these ranges of fear, it does have been showing us a very, very good time for accumulation. It has been really showing us a very good time for accumulation. So let's see what we're going to be having from this point here, and hopefully we could be seeing a vertical continuation towards the highs getting formed here. Of course, usually the 80s are levels that, yeah, markets could be easily continuing its way up here, but we should maybe start to get a little bit more fearful. So yeah, take this in consideration. Fear and greed index, very important to look at. The fear is definitely here in the market, and because the market is in fear, we are, of course, usually very greedy. So in this time as well, is it the bad time to accumulate at any of these fear stages in the market? No. General speaking, corrections are not oh man, my camera focus, come on, man. So generally speaking, it has been showing us always a good average buy price. It's not necessarily the exact bottom that the fear and greed index is going to tell you, but it does shows you a good average buy price. And of course, exactly over here, we were topping out here on the 20 below, no, 15 or so on the index, and those are levels you do not see every single. That's extreme fear. That's extreme fear that we do see in the market. So of course, because the extreme fear was there, I loved, and I was very, very much accumulating my cryptos. And of course, extreme fear was over here in the market because of the massive shakeout. And you know what's pretty funny, and why I'm very happy that we saw this, that this happened in the weekend. I'm very happy that we saw this in the weekend, because these things playing out in the weekend having a way better effect on Bitcoin. because these drop-offs happened in the weekend. It purely shows us it's manipulation to shake out leverage. And second of all, we do create a CME gap. It's going to be eventually trying to be pushing us up again here. So yeah, pretty exciting and pretty good to see over here. I don't know if you already talked about it, but can you look at Solana? I think 15 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago I talked about it. So a little bit back and you can see it. Can MATIC reach Solana levels? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. I think if you're going to look at Polygon, I think it can be reaching indeed Solana Cardano levels. So 46 to 60 billion. So if you're going to look at MATIC, it could easily still do a 3x from here on. I mean, MATIC to $6, or let's say $6 for MATIC is going to be very a no-brainer. I think we could be eventually reach it. 3x easily, $6 approximately from here on. It's very likely. I mean, MATIC has a lot of potential still. I would rather, some people right now look to be buying at Solana. I would rather look at a project like that has way more lower market capitalization, but could be growing way more inevitably towards higher levels. By the way, one of the biggest losses of the week, let me quickly look at it. RUNE, of course, big loser of the week. Love these tokens over here as well. What we do see, yeah, these are a lot of losers from the week here. Actually, Infinity as well. So it's pretty unfortunate to see Holochain, basic attention token, Shiba, of course. Dogecoin taking as well, pretty big hit here today, pretty decently. But yeah, a lot of big losers in this week here. The worst one, of course, Thorchain. That's of course pretty unfortunate to see. So yeah, let's look at it. Let's look at it. But Bitcoin so far not showing a lot of interesting things here, to be honest, on today's candle. Rover, ever since the Bitcoin dump, you have not been talking fast. I mean, I try to for everyone to talk a little bit slower so everyone can follow me. So I try to do and help everyone out. Can we please check Casper? Of course, let me go over Casper. I mean, Casper, we have been already discussing it yesterday on the stream. Casper, of course, this token has been coming down here, find some very strong support in the range, fell below it, got rejected by this range here. So then it already showed us a very strong resistance support box. Over here, got rejected, broke above it, flipped it into support. So what is it going to be looking like? It's going to look like a very bullish continuation. And Casper is about to go parabolic, in my opinion. That's how it is. It's very simple. I think this coin is going to be making massive gains here. It's right now in a parabolic structure. And I personally think it's going to go parabolic. I think it's going to literally go like this. I think it's going to literally go sky high, Casper. Looks like a good trend here. We broke the critical range of resistance. We're forming this exponential low, these exponential lows here. It's of course looking a little bit good here. So I'm looking forward towards how it's going to be playing out here. So hopefully we could be seeing a continuation towards the ups getting generated versus previous resistance zone. It's going to flip into support over here. It's going to be looking like a very good, level of accumulation, of course, in my opinion. So I'm very, very excited about Casper, what it's going to do so right now, but it does look extremely good in my opinion. Let me see. Let me go back. Yeah, Bitcoin still not doing a lot here. Do you know anything about the upgrade of the Ethereum network, the Ethereum error glacier update? Yes, I do know. It's like another update that is going to come towards Ethereum for Ethereum 2.0 here. And it's another update that basically going to help to finalize the project Ethereum 2.0. I mean, I think it's coming out right now here because as well got a message like all the Ethereum ERC20 token, all the ERC20 all the ERC20 tokens will be affected about the update. And of course, this is an update that comes towards the market on the 9th of December, so tomorrow, 8 p.m. UTC, 9 December. So tomorrow we're going to get the update coming towards us, of course, for the Ethereum network. Of course, what it basically is going to do here. And let me get an article for you guys as well, so we can read all together with this. Let me see. I've got an article over here, so I think we can see it right now. So yeah, this is basically an update that we're going to come out here, and it's the EP 4488, and it's basically going to be what it's going to be exactly doing here. So let me see what this the site is saying is. So what it is basically going to do here. Let me quickly read about it as well here. It's going to come out, which is expected 8th of December. I think it's coming out tomorrow, the 9th of December. But I just read here. 9th of December is going to come out here. And it's going to be basically an additional update that's going to be helping us to come close towards Ethereum 2.0. So yeah, pretty interesting update that's going to come out here. And tomorrow, probably the transactions will be affected by it. So I'm very interested about what we could be having from point here. So yeah, pretty interesting. Another update on Ethereum, of course, tomorrow. CoinMarketCap, of course, also talking about it. So yeah, pretty cool that we do have this. Of course, since the last update that we did held on the market was the long hard fork update, the 1559 protocol. So it's a pretty good one. But yeah, this is basically going to be the latest difficulty bomb. So it's pretty interesting. So basically, what it is going to be doing here, what the difficulty bomb is going to do here, is that it is going to be to help us another step closer, come another step closer towards yeah, completely proof of stake. And that's going to be, of course, include less energy. But it's of course going to good here, more immune towards centralization, lower barriers to entry, and increased support for shared chains. And that's of course how Ethereum will be scaling the network. So the shard chain is basically the chain that's going to be scale Ethereum up here. Of course, if I say it correctly, 100,000 transactions a second. So it's going to be pretty crazy on how fast the network is going to grow here for Ethereum, because there will be basically, yeah, it will be basically help us to, of course, grow the network. And of course, this is just another update that comes out that's going to be help us to come a step closer towards Ethereum 2.0 here. So there are more and more updates going to come towards us. So it will be helping. Basically, the update will be helping Ethereum miners to breathe some room for the few months while the network pushes towards 2.0 here, where it needs to be here. However, the clock is ticking for Ethereum as other layer 1 networks like Solana, Avalanche, Binance Smart Chain are increasing their gobbling its market share. So yeah, indeed, there are other layer 1 solutions picking up the market share, which should have been towards Ethereum, of course. So yeah, indeed, it's pretty interesting. But as native proof of stake networks, they already currently far superior in terms of scalability, speed, and cost efficiency, and it attracts both developers and users away from Ethereum. So indeed, so far, Solana blockchain, of course, the Avalanche and Binance Smart Chain are indeed taking a lot of market share and taking the developers away from the Ethereum network, what is of course pretty unfortunate for them. There's no question about it. Ethereum's difficulty bomb needs to be pushed through in June 2022, or the network could be very well face a different Ice Age event. And of course, we could be in the indeed, and that's also the point here. The DeFi and the NFT spaces right now definitely missed by the Ethereum network. So yeah, it's pretty interesting what we do see over here. And yeah, very exciting. Oh, it's upgrade delayed. The upgrade is delayed. I just got them. It's not delayed if I say it correctly, because I thought the upgrade was just coming out tomorrow. It's going to come out. Oh, it's delayed towards June 2022. I just got a message from as well BYBIT that tomorrow the update will be taking place here. So it's a little bit of a lot of stuff coming out right now here, but yeah, most likely the update is going to come out tomorrow if I read this correctly, because BYBIT just told me the update is going to come out tomorrow, and the network will be very slow. It will be affecting the ERC20 token deposits that will be taking longer. That it will be delayed from the 8 p.m. on UTC December the 9th. So pretty interesting. But indeed, are going to be very exciting. New GPU is 5,000 years old. Indeed, very exciting. Very exciting. By the way, Bitcoin bouncing back a little bit here. We're going to 90k. We're not going. One question: is it very exciting? It's extremely exciting. There will be an update, but the merge is pushed back to June 2022. Oh, it was, first of all, what I don't like about Ethereum. You know, of course, I do know it's a big updates that are coming, but like, first the merge was coming in December 2021. Then the merge was coming in Q1 2022. Then they pushed it back to early summer, May 2022. And right now it's already pushed back towards June 2022. So it's already getting pushed back quite a lot of times here. and the merge is once again coming back to this in 2022. So yeah, the merge, we still have to wait for it, but of course the merge is of course a thing that we're all going to be very, very much happy with, because yeah, that's going to be the total proof of stake network on Ethereum that's going to be getting enabled, and I can't wait for that to happen. And of course they're delaying it because they want to be having a smooth transition of the chain. And personally, as soon as because they're delaying it, it's good, because if they not finalize the product, they can't bring it out yet. So it's a good thing that Ethereum is doing so, in my opinion. But of course, some people think like the Binance Smart Chain. I think Ethereum is going to be no matter be the biggest, because they're going to be having this burning side of it, right? They have this deflationary side, but these other tokens don't have, and that's going to be making it very interesting to be hodling it as well. So I think, yeah, right now it's like BNB and Solana is taking some of its market share, that eventually it will be bouncing back very strongly, in my opinion. Ethereum then, at least. So yeah, very exciting. They laughed about the 88 delays. I mean, in crypto, we do get a lot of delays here. In crypto, we just do know there are so many market delays here. Sorry, update delays. These delays always come and go, you know. So it's pretty interesting about what we're going to get here for Ethereum. But personally, yeah, I don't really mind them. Of course, it's unfortunate because you would love to see these updates coming out as soon as possible. But it is what it is. It is what it is right now. So yeah, so far 50.3k. Bitcoin and curving back a little bit here on the 11 a.m. candle. BNB burns tokens, yes, but it is not regular burn. It's not deflationary. BNB burns tokens just like Ethereum is doing, but it's not deflationary. So what the whole point is that Ethereum will become deflationary, but BNB isn't deflationary yet. Let me quickly search up on the BNB inflation rate. Let me see. It has still inflation, so that's unfortunate. But I mean, it's normal to have an inflation with these tokens. So pretty interesting. Here I can't see the inflation rate. I want to real quickly find out about what kind of inflation rate there is on the BNB, how much supply there is growing. Pretty interesting. But yeah, of course they don't have a max supply, so the inflation is still here. Gotcha, of course. Binance introducing burning recently, yeah, of course, but they're burning. But like Ethereum is burning as well, you know. Ethereum is burning their transactions, but doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be right away becoming deflationary. Because yeah, deflation is a little bit, because they have inflation and they're burning tokens. Right now, Ethereum is still 1.8% inflation, but they're still burning. But as soon as they're going to be implementing the merge, it will be having a 2.4% deflation a year. Where can we get with Costa? I'm on the website, but no info about that. Where can we get Costa? Costa is not out yet, Amir. Costa, first of all, was planning to get launched in December, but unfortunately is not launched in December, but it's getting pushed back here towards Q1, just like a lot of cryptos, of course, getting pushed back and delayed. But they're doing so because they want to be having a smooth launch, and Costa will be getting launched in Q1 2022. So I'm very excited about Costa, what we're going to be having here, and it's going to be there, of course, in these periods of in beginning of 2022. So I'm looking forward towards it. Yeah, Ethereum update on December 9th, 8 p.m. UTC, indeed. I talk about Costa for sure. I can talk about Costa. Costa is pretty interesting, to be honest, for everyone who doesn't know yet. Of course, I personally do think it's going to be changing up, of course, the world of crypto payments. I mean, yeah, Bitcoin is not going to be something where you're going to be buying a coffee with, but Costa is. And of course, let's say you're betting on a football match or whatsoever, and you want to send some crypto to your friends. You do it with Costa without any fees instantly. It's allowing the payment system on crypto to grow, and it will be allowing the mass adoption towards crypto, because that's really what is lacking right now here. So that's the reason why I'm so excited about Costa. and the payments mechanism that's going to be implemented here, as well the app that's going to come out here. They're so working so hard in the background, and it will become so big. So many people are exposed to Costa. I mean, like there's so many people working on the project right now, and of course the exposure is extremely high on Fox. On Fox it is of course getting talked about. It's getting talked about on YouTube, on Twitter, of course, everywhere. Everyone knows about Costa, but of course, for Costa to be successful, a lot of people need to, of course, use the app, of course, to send it to him, because yeah, if everyone uses Costa, you can literally send very cheap Bitcoin. You can very easily send Bitcoin towards each other, etc. You know, so very interesting what we do have over there. The app is going to be very interesting. You can just use phone numbers to send it towards your friends, phone number, your friend's contact. You can just send it to crypto to your friends very easily. You can pay each other. It's just like some kind of like PayPal, but then the crypto PayPal, you can see it like that, right? And of course, you know what as well, you're going to be having a debit card with it. You're going to have staking features. So it's going to be definitely like they're going to fully focus on the adoption on the wider scale here. They're going to be trying to focus on buying your coffee, your cup of coffee, completely with crypto, of course, completely with Bitcoin, and of course sending transaction easily. Earning yield with it, easy swap engine to swap your Bitcoin to Ethereum or whatsoever. So it's going to be a very, very, very exciting few amount of time that we're going to be having on this project. So I definitely can't wait to see what we're going to be having, but this is going to be an extremely exciting time that I can't wait for once it's going to get listed, because yeah, I will be personally using it. And of course you can see all kinds of information already about the token, what they're going to do here. And of course you could be as well customize your debit card. You can see the allocations, how it works, the vesting, of course. And what's very, very good about the token as well is that the vesting is going to start 61 days after the listing, what is pretty good here, of course. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah, you can see all the details about the token. Initial market cap of 100k. So I personally literally think this token is going to do a 100x without any jokes here. Of course, hard cap is 6 million if all the tokens are out, of course. But yeah, it's going to be a very, very exciting project, of course, in my opinion. So only 100k initial market cap is just going to be allowing us to literally do maybe a 50x year on launch day, because I think that the project is going to be so big. And of course, if you could be able to buy it very quickly, yeah, you're going to be most likely make very good profits here on the token. So I definitely can't wait to see how it's going to be playing out here. And I'm very excited about the project, and I think it's going to be a very, very big project that you can look at. And of course, you could be as well look at the roadmap, how hard they've been working, of course, since Q1 2021 here. And of course, all the things that are going to be still implementing here, of course, as well. About, of course, affiliate program, affiliate dashboards, and request payments, payouts, and payments to non-users, etc., smart payments links, etc., and as well IBAN numbers so you can send to bank accounts or whatsoever. So yeah, this is definitely a very, very exciting time that we right now are in, and they can buy right now with lending, etc. There's so many features that are still going to be implemented on Costa, and I'm looking forward towards, of course, the creation of the Costa token will be delayed to Q1 here. Of course, this will be as well getting listed on a lot of exchanges. Can't say anything about it yet here, but yeah, there are going to be just major things coming up for Costa, and I am looking forward towards it, about what is going to how it's going to be looking at. And of course, in Q1 2022, the app will be as well coming out here. It should be ready at that point, but it's going to be very exciting in my opinion. I was thinking it's strange to send crypto for free. So who's paying the gas fee? I mean, I don't know exactly how they're doing it. I have to be asking as well. I mean, I will for this Friday. I will be having a meeting with those guys and just talk a little bit about the project. So I'm going to be. I mean, I just know as much as you know as well. So I'm as well very curious about how they are doing. So I'm going to be asking that question as well, so I can reflect it to you guys once again. As well, Cody Gilbert, how I'm doing very good. How are you doing? But Amir, I don't know exactly how it is going to be doing, but I will be finding out about this question, and I will be reflecting it back to you guys out there. So I'm looking forward towards the project. I definitely think it's going to be a very big project that we that of course could be make yourself as well good kings if you can get in early. So very, very interesting, and I can't wait for the token launch, where it is going to get listed. I don't know anything, but I'm just very excited about it, how it is going to be performing, like, of course. Are you going to to go live when Costa goes live, of course. I will be live streaming once the token is going to live, just purely to see how it's going to perform like, of course. So we're going to look at that. But then Amir, very good question. Of course, Amir always with his very, very good questions. But for sure, every single question you guys have for me, and if let's say if I don't have an answer for it or whatsoever, I will be always trying to find out an answer, of course. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward towards it. What it is going to be performing like. So yeah, pretty interesting. Shouldn't you declare? I mean, I don't even get paid for anything about Pasta saying it. I mean, some people always say, "Oh, you're getting paid or whatever." No, it's just like I personally do like projects, and I personally do like to revolutionize the world, and especially cryptocurrency world here. And of course, Cole is a friend of mine, and of course, it's one of his projects, and I'm helping him out as well by talking about it, of course, but personally as well, because I purely like it. It's nothing to do to get paid with or whatsoever. It's not a paid promotion, so if people say so, it's not true. I wish, I mean, maybe in the future, but right now they're not doing anything for promotion whatsoever, but it's just like, it's going to be the #1 scam ever right now. I mean, some people, of course, always going to say so, but I don't think so. Yes, there will be a pre-sale available for people. So that's the reason why you have to put up your whitelist right now on the site to be getting into a pre-sale. So yeah, I'm looking forward towards it. What are your thoughts on RSR? I mean, the coin has been not doing anything very special, to be honest. RSR has been coming down massively from the highs, and I knew some people are like promoting this coin. It looks to be they are definitely dumping on you. So I mean, I don't know very much if I do really believe in the project right now. Here's all too much. I do like a similar project that could be maybe perform way better. So I'm looking forward towards that project. But no, RSR what's going to be doing. So far, very interested by what it could be doing, of course, from this point. But yeah, RSR 3.6 cents right now here, pretty low. Not really strongly from the previous high recovered. But yeah, pretty interested about what we could be doing right now here. Still up 70% down from all-time high here. So let's see what we're going to be having. So let's see what we're going to be having. That's a good BNB article for sure. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway. Let's see what we're having. How's Ethereum doing? If you want to be checking up on all the thoughts on Ethereum, you can go back a little bit into our stream here. If you're going to go back a little bit into our stream, you can see all the thoughts about it over there. Let me see. Check out Dent. Already did check out Dent. Please don't spam here as well in the chat. It's not appreciated. But yeah, guys. Anyway, unfortunately, right now I will be wrapping up the stream here. So right now, of course, wasn't the main stream to once again have you guys over here. And what I will be told to you guys out there is that today I will be back with another live stream here on my channel. I will be dropping out another live stream as soon as we're going to see any market moves. As soon as we do see, let's say, the bear flag getting touched here, or if we're going to retest support or the green box or whatsoever. So guys, if you want to be finding out about all the important levels of support or resistance getting retested, and if you want to be finding out about all the important market moves we're about to get here in this market, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because if you're subscribed to the channel, you will be not missing out on any inch here on the channel, because yeah, you will be of course be able to you will be able to, of course, not miss out on any single market move. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel right now here, ring the bell notification, and I will be seeing you guys on the next stream here on my channel. Well, we probably will be a little bit later today. So guys, subscribe to the channel, and I will be back later today if we're going to see some more volatility. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.